If you don't have friends, it's totally okay. You're not behind and you're definitely not alone. Sometimes being alone is exactly what your heart needs to grow. In fact, being alone might be the clearest path to finding the people who truly appreciate you. I want to show you why quiet moments can be your superpower and how you can thrive while waiting for the right people to enter your life. Hi guys, I'm Daria and welcome to my channel. For anyone new here, this channel is all about diving into self-discovery, nurturing your confidence, and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Today we're going to talk about how to embrace your own company, cultivate meaningful connections, and step into the kind of self-love that lasts. We'll explore practical ways to thrive solo while waiting for the right people to enter your life. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. Being friendless doesn't mean you're broken. Not having a big group of friends doesn't make you unlovable. It just means you're not settling for people who don't see your worth. Being honest with you, I'm quite an introvert person. I don't open up easily. It's something that takes time for me, and growing up that made me feel a little different. I've always needed time to open up and truly connect. One-on-one conversations feel more comfortable and natural to me, especially around people I don't know well. Of course, once I get to know someone, I slowly start to open up. I become more relaxed, more talkative. But whether it was back in school or even now, I've noticed that not everyone knows how to respond to that kind of pace. Some people understand that opening up takes time and some don't, and honestly, that's totally okay. In my teenage years, I often felt a bit disconnected from the crowds. I was more of an observer, watching those groups from the sidelines and wondering where I fit in. Honestly, my world has been mostly my family and a small circle of close people who truly get me. If we're talking about big groups or squads, that just wasn't my story. Sure, there were times at school when I'd sit alone or I didn't have someone to hang out with, but honestly, I found comfort and peace in my own space. And over time, I realized that everyone's journey looks different. That's perfectly okay. Feeling like you're on the sidelines doesn't mean you're invisible or unworthy. It's easy to mistake quiet moments for loneliness or being left out, but sometimes those moments are actually your soul's way of protecting and preparing you. Like a seed buried underground, unseen but gathering strength, your time off stage is when you're building roots that will hold you steady for life. Imagine being constantly surrounded by a crowd of people who don't share your vision or understand your pace. How can you truly grow? How can you create space for something meaningful to take root? It's okay if you don't rush to join every crowd or fill every room. Real connection takes time and patience, and sometimes waiting in the quiet allows you to grow in ways that noisy friendships never could. So if you're feeling a bit out of sync with the loud world, remember that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means you're creating space for something meaningful to take root, something deep, lasting, and truly yours. Because here's the truth, you're not behind, you're not missing out. You're simply in a different season. Some people's lives bloom huge, busy gardens full of people. Yours might be growing slowly, quietly, with a few strong, healthy roots that will last. And that's not just okay, that's beautiful. Remember, a crowded table doesn't always mean a full heart. You don't need a dozen of people to validate your existence. Sometimes the most peaceful life is the one without the noise, without the constant performance of belonging, just to fit in. You're not less than. You're just someone who refused to force a connection that isn't real, someone who values quality over quantity. And trust me, better no brunch invite than brunch with people who aren't rooting for your happiness. You're not behind or broken. You're simply in the quiet before the right people arrive. And remember, you're not alone in this. There are others out there searching for a friend just like you. Chapter 2. Why You Feel Alone, the Truth About Real Connection. We live in a world where Instagram makes it look like everyone has the perfect friend group. Movies and TV shows often make it seem like you need a ride or die best friend or a tight-knit circle of people to survive. But in real life, many of those friendships are shallow, fragile, and built on convenience rather than true connection. Loneliness isn't about how many people are around you. It's about the absence of real connection. You can be surrounded by a crowd and still feel completely alone. I'm sure you've seen it too. People surrounded by a ton of so-called friends who still feel invisible or disconnected because none of those people really see who they are beneath the surface. It's like being in a noisy room where everyone's talking, but no one's really listening. Some people's friend groups are just group chats filled with people waiting for their turn to talk about themselves, not to truly hear you. Of course, not all friendships look like this. There are genuine connections out there, friend groups, and bonds where people truly listen, support, and care deeply for one another. But it's important to recognize when a friendship isn't serving that purpose. And here's the comforting truth. You don't need a crowd to feel complete. You don't need a dozen of casual friends or likes to prove your worth. What matters is a few genuine connections, or even just one, that makes you feel seen, heard, and valued. Until those connections come, it's perfectly okay to stand in your own space with dignity. You don't have to rush to fill every empty seat. The right people won't make you feel like you have to audition for their friendship or love. They'll accept you just as you are. No scripts or performances required. So if you're feeling alone, remember this. Loneliness isn't a reflection of your worth or your value. It's a signal, a reminder that your heart is waiting for something real, something meaningful. And that waiting, it's not empty. It's preparing you for deeper bonds, ones that don't just fill space, but fill your soul. Chapter 3. You just haven't met your people yet, and that's okay. I know it's tempting to think if you don't have friends now, maybe you never will, but that's a lie loneliness whispers. It wants you to doubt yourself, to measure your worth by empty seats and silent phones. Don't believe it. Many people meet their closest, deepest friends later in life, through work, hobbies, travel, or even online. Your people are out there searching for you too. The timing might not match your impatience, but that doesn't make it any less real. Don't rush the plot. Life isn't a scripted story where everyone conventionally clicks. True connection can't be manufactured, and forcing it usually leaves you drained. You deserve bonds that feel natural. Let's get something straight. I'd rather enjoy my own company than spend time with people who aren't truly present or invested. Right friendships see beyond appearances. They hear you, honor you, and show up when it matters, even when it's inconvenient. This season is for discovering you, so that when your people finally cross paths with you, you'll be so grounded in who you are that you'll attract the ones who match your energy, not drain it. Use this time to explore your passions, nurture your curiosities, and learn to enjoy your own company. The quieter moments, the solo adventures, the self-reflection, they're not wasted. They're preparation. Better to be alone for now than stuck with the wrong crowd. Sometimes loneliness is not a punishment, it's a gift. It's giving you the space to grow, to understand yourself, and to recognize what you truly need in a friendship. So trust the timing, trust your pace. Your people aren't lost, they're simply on a journey that will eventually intersect with yours. And when that moment comes, you won't be just ready, you'll be radiant. Think of yourself as a lone star. Even if you feel small and distant, your light stays steady. Eventually, other stars will join you, and together, you'll create a sparkling sky. Being alone isn't a failure, it's a chapter, and your story is just the beginning. Chapter 4. Thriving Solo. Building a life you love without a friend group. Not having a big group doesn't mean your life has to be on pause. It doesn't mean you're behind or that something is missing. It means you get to build a life that's rich, exciting, and fulfilling on your terms. When you truly learn to love your own company, you stop offering discounts on your presence. You no longer settle for half-hearted invitations, shallow connections, or relationships that leave you feeling smaller than before. Instead, you discover that your time, energy, and presence are valuable, and only those who treat them with care deserve access. So what do you do in the meantime? You pour into yourself. You try new things, not because you need an audience, but because curiosity makes life worth living. Pick up a skill that you've been putting off. Cook yourself a meal so good it feels like a celebration. Travel, even if it's just to the other side of town, and notice how much beauty there is when you're fully present. Why would you wait for someone else to validate your life when you can start living it right now? Don't box yourself in just because you don't have a crowd to go with. Your happiness doesn't need to wait for company. If it's your first time going out solo, it might feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. With each step you take, you'll grow more confident. One day, you look around and realize just how natural and even freeing it feels to enjoy your own company. Take yourself out, go to movies, sit in a cafe, wander through a bookstore, not as a placeholder until real friends arrive, but as a way of telling yourself, I'm worthy of good experiences, even if I enjoy them alone. Personally, I find joy in doing things alone. I like going to the cinema, taking walks, and enjoying nature. It gives me a sense of calm, almost like meditation. And yes, join classes, book clubs, or interest groups, but go in with the intention of enjoying the activity itself, not hunting for people. The irony is that when you stop searching for connections as if it's oxygen, it tends to show up naturally. People are drawn to those who are already lit up by their own lives. A little mystery is also good for the soul and for your calendar. When you're not constantly available or waiting for someone else to fill your time, you start to move differently. You walk with confidence, you feel more grounded, and others notice. Here's the secret. When your life is already full, friendship becomes a cherry on top, not the main course. The meal, the real nourishment, comes from the way you choose to live, explore, and grow right now. Friends, When they arrive, simply add sweetness to an already abundant table. So thrive solo, build a life that feels so vibrant, so rich, so deeply yours, that whether people come or go, you remain whole. Chapter 5. You are enough. Mastering the art of becoming your own best friend. Your value is not measured by how many people text you back. Your worth doesn't rise and fall with how many replies you get, likes, or social validation. Some seasons are meant for deep growth, times when you focus on becoming so fully with yourself that only the right people can meet you there. And that's okay. This is the work of becoming your own anchor, your own cheerleader, your own safe place. Right now, you're the person you need most. Treat yourself with love, respect, and devotion you'd give to someone you care about deeply, because that someone is you. Make space for yourself, listen to yourself, honor your needs, and celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Learn to enjoy your own company in a way that isn't temporary or conditional. You don't need to be surrounded to be complete. You're already complete, already the whole room. When you sit in a cafe alone, walking through a park, or curled up with a book, remind yourself, I'm enough. My laughter, my presence, my curiosity, they don't require an audience to be valid. And yes, some people might call you too much simply because you live life fully and authentically. Let them be their own measure. Politely remind yourself and them that their limits don't define you. Your fire, your passion, your authenticity are your gifts, not something to be dimmed to make others comfortable. Being your own best friend means showing up for yourself consistently. It means holding your hand through challenges, celebrating your milestone, and giving yourself permission to rest when needed. It's the kind of friendship that never cancels, never judges, never leaves you waiting for someone else to return you affection. Ask yourself, when was the last time you celebrated your own victory, no matter how small? If you were your own best friend, how would you show up for yourself today? Would you scold yourself for every little mistake? Or would you meet yourself with kindness? When you become your own best friend, you can always come back to yourself. Your happiness stops being borrowed, outsourced, or dependent on anyone else's approval. It lives inside you, unshakable, abundant, and when your people do arrive, they'll meet someone fully alive, fully present, and fully enough. Your company, your care, your love, you're already all of that, and that is more than enough. This is it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, you're complete and whole just as you are, and the love, care, and friendship you've been looking for can always start with you. If this spoke to you, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more inspiration. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.